All right. How did you get started in the whole institution of popular culture? It now has become an institution, but how did it start?
Well, it really started because of my husband. He was not very happy with the American Studies Association, so at an American Studies Association meeting in about 1969, something or other, he and a group of people got together and decided that they would like to form a popular culture association. And they did. It was that simple. The next year we had a meeting in, I think, East Lansing. And at that time, I was working for the Bowling Green University Popular Press, for which I still work. And Ray was director of the press as well as big chair of the popular culture department. So there was a little nepotism there. He was director of the press. He is the director of the press. And I am the managing editor, the business manager, whatever. So I think that my real involvement with the association became because Ray is not very good with details. He sees the overall picture, and he is very bad about little details. So I began working with him in getting the programs together because I have a phenomenal memory for names, dates, places, where you're from, your mother's name, all of these kind of things. And I could remember this and was therefore able to do a lot of the sort of nitty-gritty work of putting the program together. So it wasn't anything I ever planned to do. I did it, as I said, almost by default, because Ray was not very good at doing the kind of thing that I do reasonably well. So
it must have been an exciting period, and you watched it grow into a phenomenon with that institution.
It has been exciting. We, at our first meeting, I think had about 200 people, most of them friends of ours that we had begged and pleaded to come. And now this time we have about 2,000 people at this meeting. So we have, in 20 years, grown from 200 to 2,000. And this has been exciting. It was very difficult along the way because when you say popular culture, so many times people say comic books. And people were always surprised to come into our home and find that we listened to classical music and that we didn't have tons of comic books, stacked around the floor. This was the perception of popular culture for many years, maybe still is in some ways. So there's been a lot of knocks along the way, and it hasn't always been, really happy. But then you get to know the people, and that's been really a lot of fun for me.
Can you also talk a bit about some of the resistance, especially the academic resistance that he's getting?
Ray could speak more to that than I can because he's got more of the barbs than I have. In my office at Bowling Green, we're in what used to be the president's home, and it's slightly off campus. So I never go across to the campus. It's almost as though I don't belong to the university. And that way I'm protected from a lot of these things, whereas he has to go across the street and teach and go to Senate faculty meetings and all of this kind of things where people could get at him. And me, I just walk to work and I go in and I do my thing and I go home. So in a way, he has gotten much more heat than I have. Though in what we published, people used to laugh at the popular press, but now I think we've become quite respectable. We do some interesting books, and when I take them out and exhibit them, I don't feel that I have to apologize for the subject matter.
This is more related to, did you ever know that he was going to get this big, and when you sort of get a sense that he's going someplace?
Well, Ray is an optimist, and I am a pessimist. So when we started this, he said, we'll have thousands of people attending this. And I said, no, it'll die in 2 or 3 years. So every year it's this thing, he will say, oh, we're going to have 2,000 people. And I'll say, no, we'll be lucky if we get 800 this year. So, I have never in a way believed that we would get this big, because being a born pessimist, I just knew that we couldn't be. But then, I guess 2 or 3 years ago, in all of the news magazines, the newspapers, radio, television, everybody is saying popular culture, and they're not sneering when they say it. And I thought, well, maybe we may be on to something here. I'm not sure where I see it going. We may, and I say this every year, we may have reached our potential. Maybe 2,000 is where we're going to stop. Ray, of course, will tell you that in San Antonio next year we're going to have 2,500 people. So I guess I would say that I never really thought that it would get as large as it is.